These are the top 10 camping gear deals at REI's 2025 Labor Day sale. I'm only going to show you products that either I have personally used, that I own, or that a good buddy of mine has used with me as a witness, so I can attest to the value of these pieces of gear because they are all things I either do use myself or I would use myself.
Gear up and get outside.
As you can see, this Labor Day sale runs from Friday, August 22nd until Monday, September 1st, which is Labor Day. And don't forget about the REI outlet 20% off coupon that's only available online. All right, jumping into the catalog we got in the mail, and forgive me because I'm just going to skip through stuff that I don't find all that interesting. But the first deal I am interested in is this 25% off all Kelty gear, in particular their chairs. Now, we just did a big test on the best camping chairs ever, and the Kelty Lowdown chair was one that ranked quite highly among the people's choice. It didn't win, but it did well, and I really like it, and I think it's a good value for the money. Normally it's $75. That's the price you see here, but during this Labor Day sale, it will be $56 because that's 25% off. That's a very fair price for what I think is a very nice upgrade to your typical camp chair. The materials just feel better. I really like the drink holder pocket because it has this little flap you can move back and forth to accommodate different size water bottles or even a small can. And the case is not a big annoying bag like you get on the cheap camp chairs. This is actually a wraparound roll up and buckle case that has a little bit of padding to it, and it makes a great dog mat when you're camping. So you can double it up that way, or when you're, instead of sinking in the sand on the beach, you can place the chair on the pad and you won't sink. Pro tip. So check this one out. It's a very nice chair, and that's a very good price. Moving on, more chairs, because chairs have been on my mind as of late. This time we're looking at more of the compact backpacking size chairs, and there's a couple that I'm interested in here. There is the REI Flex Lite Air Chair. That's going to be on sale for 30% off. Now, this is a chair that I own and I've had for a while. It's the first backpacking chair I bought, and I bought it because it was the lightest one I could find at just 1 pound when you ditch the bag. Normally it's $100, but that 30% off brings it down to $70. As far as I know, it is the cheapest and lightest chair you will find for backpacking. There are a couple things I don't love about it. It's not the most stable. And anytime you've got soft ground, these pointy legs here or feet just stick right into the mud or sand. So it's not the best chair ever, but it is functional. The price is right and the weight is right. But if you want a noticeable upgrade, you can look at this Nemo Moonlight Elite reclining backpacking chair. This is a very nice chair. Nemo always makes things that just look, fit, and feel a little bit better than most other camping gear, and this is no exception. This chair is a little bit heavier than the REI Flex Lite Air, but only by about 2 ounces if you take the minimum weight required, just the seat and the legs. It also doesn't have a stupid bag, and I hate chair bags. What this has instead is like a little burrito wrap, a similar principle to that Kelty Lowdown that I like. And so that holds or contains your chair and keeps your seat kind of clean, but it also doubles as a pad to go under the feet on soft ground. That is also going to give you a more stable platform on just about any kind of terrain or dirt or whatever. That is a nice feature. This chair also reclines just a bit. These little tabs here, you can lean back and you can lean forward. Not a ton, but enough to find a comfortable seating position. Now, one downside some people found, and some guys in our recent test found this as well, because we're actually about to release a best backpacking chairs video that I think you will very much enjoy. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel because that will be coming out soon. But one thing we found is that these little stays in the back, they can poke right into your back. Didn't bother some people, it does bother others. And you can kind of adjust and find an okay position. And the design is just nice. It's small and compact, so it's not going to be a big luxurious camp chair, but for backpacking or motorcycle camping or bike packing or anytime you want something really compact, this is a good bet. It's also one of the most expensive compact backpacking chairs you will find at $180, which is why that 25% off is going to make a big difference. So during the Labor Day sale, it will be $135. Still not cheap, but cheaper than it normally is, and these don't go on big fat sales. Moving on from chairs, here's another REI branded piece of gear that I own. I just wanted to have a decent pad that didn't cost an arm and a leg, and the REI Helix insulated air sleeping pad is just that. I've used this for backpacking. It's lightweight enough to be interesting for that, but I've also used it for car camping just because it is so darn comfortable. Here's a little tip. It is a dream to sleep on if you put it on top of a cot. But it's nice because like all backpacking sleeping pads should, it rolls up nice and compact. It's relatively lightweight. It does have a functional pump sack with it if you want that. It's got 3 inches of thickness, which isn't the most you'll see, but it is plenty. And I don't hit the ground, and so I like it. The regular size weighs 1 pound 5 ounces, but the long wide size, which I prefer a big pad, that's what I have, it's 1 pound 13 ounces. And as we saw in the catalog, which didn't list the prices, which kind of annoys me, but it just gives you an idea of what's coming. But you can see all their stuff is going to be 25% off, at least REI branded tents, sleeping bags, and sleeping pads. So that's going to make this pad less than $130, and that is a good deal for a quality sleeping pad. Another REI branded product I think is very interesting on this sale is the REI Flash backpacks. I really don't know much about the Flash Air, but I am familiar with the Flash 55 pack. In fact, I recommended it to a buddy of mine with whom I go backpacking every summer because he wanted something that wasn't crazy expensive but was a nice upgrade from the pack he's been using for the last 15 years. It was just heavy and wearing out, and it didn't suit him anymore. So I recommended the Flash 55, and he got it, and he loves it. And I gotta say, this is a quality pack that is a great size and weight for most backpacking adventures. Whether you're doing a weekend trip or even a week-long trip, you can make do. That 55 liters is plenty. This big stuff pocket on the outside, which I love those. Nice big water bottle pockets, but they're also easily accessible from the side, which is a big bonus. Just one big stuff interior, which is how I like it. But if you like to carry a hydration bladder, you've got a spot for that too. It's going to have some adjustment. You're going to find a fit for it. And it even has a little phone pouch on there, which normally people are paying 20 or 30 bucks to add one of those on. So overall, a great pack. I wouldn't hesitate to buy this myself either. And that's going to be on sale for 30% off, which is going to make it go from $199, which is already a darn good deal. That's going to bring that down to $140. That's a fantastic deal on a very worthy pack. If you don't trust what I'm saying, then just ask Chuck the Duck here. He knows what I'm talking about. This spring, a group of buddies and I went on a backpacking trip and we tested all kinds of sleeping pads. The top leading ones that everybody's recommending, but I really wanted to dial down to which one's the best for most folks. And we landed on the Nemo Tensor All Season. Spoiler alert, should have said that before. Got it out of order. Oh well. This is a great sleeping pad for both car camping and backpacking. Really designed for backpacking because of its weight and compact size. But it's a little bit thicker than that REI Helix I recommended earlier. And it's got great insulation. I think a higher insulation R value than the REI one as well. It's also more expensive. It ranges from $200 to $230. But during this REI Labor Day sale, it's going to be 25% off. And so that makes it more affordable. And again, like most Nemo things, they don't go on sale for huge discounts. So 25% off is very reasonable. And I would jump on that if you're looking for a pad. Between this one and the REI one, whichever one suits your budget better, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Which tent do you get? And I always want to get a deal. I almost never pay full price for anything. The one tent I would get out of these 6 that are displayed on sale here in the catalog is probably this Nemo Hornet Osmo Ultralight 2P tent. I was torn between the Nemo Hornet and the Nemo Dragonfly. The Dragonfly has a bit broader roof, so it's going to be a little bit more spacious and voluminous inside, which is very nice, especially in bad weather. When you're hanging out in your tent, you want to sit up and read or do whatever. But I'm also a sucker for the weight specs. And the Hornet Osmo Ultralight 2P tent is going to get you down a few ounces less. I think it gets you to a minimum trail weight of 2 pounds, 1 ounce. That is fantastic. I believe the Dragonfly is a minimum of 2 pounds, 10 ounces. So you can see it's this kind of triangular frame. So it doesn't have a broad roof all throughout, but Nemo did do a pretty good job here at giving you some sitting up room here also. 2 people sitting up at one time isn't really going to happen in this tent, but I use a 2P tent when I'm by myself. So I prefer just to have that extra elbow room and be able to bring my gear inside if I want. Everything is always just made of really solid materials. And this tent is going to last a long time. In fact, my buddy that has one of these, he has one, maybe it's their original Hornet Osmo, I'm not sure, but it's several years old and still going. People love this tent. $450 is not cheap. Take 25% off of that, and you're going to be at $337.50. Roughly, that's what it'll be on sale for over this Labor Day sale. That is still expensive. You can get tents for much cheaper than that, but that is a fair price for a tent that might be the last backpacking tent you ever need to buy. As Nemo does, it's always got some unique, thoughtful design elements that you're just not going to find in other tents. Like this little light pouch. You put your light in there and it kind of turns your bright white headlamp into a soft light that doesn't just destroy your night vision entirely. And look how small that is. I mean, that is fantastic. I love a small compact tent. This is truly an ultralight tent that is going to get you through just about any weather and any conditions. And man, you can't beat that size and weight. So it's worth that price, especially that sale price. Moving on, we see that there are hiking clothing and footwear on clearance for up to 50% off. And there are indeed some good deals. One in particular that jumped out is this Patagonia diamond quilted insulated bomber hoodie is what they call it. It's really just a mid-weight jacket that's kind of good for all conditions. Now the men's version is 30% off, normally $200 down to $139, but I noticed the women's version, if I can find it. And here I have found it. The Patagonia diamond quilted bomber insulated hoodie for women is half off, $98.83. That is way cheaper than $199, and that is really cheap for anything with a Patagonia tag on it. And I can say I got this jacket for my wife in this color. We got it, I don't know, a few months ago, so I'm kind of bummed that I think I paid full price for it. But this is a great jacket. She loves it. It's a good all-around jacket. If there's a light rain or if it's windy or you're going to the kids' soccer game or whatever it is, just being out and about, going on hikes, being outdoors, camping, it's just kind of a great all-around layer to have. So there are some good deals in there if you search in the clearance section. As far as the actual Labor Day sale deals go, I really like this one right here. This one is the Sahara Shade Hoodie. I have this hoodie and I love it. All right. Honestly, I bought it because it was one of the cheapest hiking hoodies out there. It's only $50 when it's full price. So I thought, well, shoot, that's half the price of a lot of these other name brand ones. So I'm going to give it a whirl. And turns out I love it. I like the fit because it's really open and flowy. It's a loose fit, which I prefer because I want that airflow when I'm out doing things that make me sweat. And they've got a nice array of colors. Well, this is going to be on sale for 30% off. Normally $50, that brings the price down to $35, which is a smoking deal for a sun hoodie. I wear this all the time. I wear this for all kinds of outdoor activities when it's going to be sunny. And they have it in women's too. And the women's cut is different. It's cut for a woman. It's the same price and you get similar colors and options. I love cool pants. I really do. I've used them for a long time. They're expensive, but I get a pair and they last for years. So I can recommend the Cool Renegade Recon pants here. These are some of Cool's most popular pants, all right? And all of their Cool Renegade bottoms, they're all going to be on sale for 25% off, which brings a pair of pants like this from $100 down to $75. I think I said it early on, but these aren't the smokingest deals you're ever going to find on outdoor gear, but they are what I think are some of the best value deals you're going to find at REI's Labor Day sale this year. These are great because of the fit. They get a little bit of stretch to them. I love the pockets. For some reason, they've done better at pockets than anybody else does at pockets. You got a place for your phone, or I sometimes put a tool in there like my multi-tool or my pliers. They look good. They feel good. They're comfortable. They have gusseted crotches, which is important to me. And they just last for a long time. Lastly, what we're seeing here is we get 25% off selected Ultra footwear. It took me a while to find some hiking shoes that I really like. I did boots. I did all kinds of things. I landed on the Ultra Lone Peak. It appears the Ultra Lone Peak will not be for sale during this Labor Day sale, but the Temp 5 will be, as well as the Torin, which is more of a road running shoe, and then the Olympus, which is very much a trail running shoe, but it's a high cushion shoe. This Temp 5 is one I would definitely consider, and I've got a friend who has them, and he loves them. And these are a medium cushion shoe, but what I like about Ultras, if you're not already aware, they have a wide toe box, so your toes can spread out a bit more. That helps me avoid blisters, and I never get the toenails digging into the other toe, or the things that happen when your feet are just always jamming at the toe your foot when you're coming down a hill or whatever. And then I also like that they are zero drop, which means it doesn't go from high to low, from heel to toe. And that's how I prefer a shoe to fit. I found that feels the best. They're going to be a good shoe. They're also lightweight. They're just comfortable. They work for me. If they work for you, 25% off is going to be a decent deal. That's going to bring the price of these Temp 5s down from $155 to $116. That too, for a current model year shoe that you're going to be able to get in your size, is a good deal. The final thing I'll note in here from the catalog is that they've got more clearance items, up to 50% off their summer stuff, sandals, shorts, and swimwear. And if you punch in that URL, rei.com/summer-clearance, you will land on a page that looks a lot like this. And just at a quick glance, it looks like there might be some good deals, namely these Chubbies swim trunks. I've got the knockoffs, to be honest, from Amazon, but these are very popular swim shorts, and the knockoffs are nice, so I imagine the real ones are also nice. These are normally $80, and that brings the price down to $38, which I think is what I paid for the knockoffs. I think there's plenty of good deals to be found in here at the end of the summer season. Speaking of the end, we have arrived at the end. All the links for these will be in the carousel below, and you probably saw the little buttons pop up as we went along. If you like finding a great deal on outdoor gear, I highly recommend you visit the Honey Hole at our website, outdoorempire.com/thehoneyhole. We're listing new outdoor gear deals there all the time. Pretty much every day there's something that's going up. You can also sign up for our email newsletter, which we call the Honey Hole. And there I'm going to send you 5 outdoor gear deals every single week. You're also going to be entered into weekly gear giveaways and be mildly entertained by my sometimes nonsensical anecdotes. Thanks for watching.